Hey, gang, and welcome to yet another Friday Foolish. I'm going to have Candice on here momentarily. But in case you weren't in the know of what we're going to do today, look at this big bowl of junk food, pretty much, that I've got in here. Um, and this is going to be a post Halloween taste test. And we'll see if what I can get through tasting at least a little bit of all of these treats in here. Uh, but I do have something that is not really sugary candy. This is Jif to go. This is peanut butter and chocolate. And if y'all will permit me, I'm just, because I don't have any apples or anything like that, apple slices to dip it in. I'm just going to be gross and dip my finger in it and try it, just so I can see how that is. But I'm going to show you guys and gals this other stuff I've got in here momentarily. Candace is going to share some things too. She's going to be trying some things on camera as well. Also, Steve told me that my trick or treat 4K should be here by 8 o'clock tonight. So y'all be on the lookout for an upcoming Evil Dead Chicks excellent video review that I'm going to do for the Trick or Treat 4K, talking about the transfer, talking about the special features, and all of that good stuff. Not the plot of the movie, just transfer and any special features would be on there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to remind people about. Oh, go pick yourself up a shirt if you feel so inclined over at deaditesondeck.com. And I have a bunch of new designs on there, including the Be Kind to One Another and Blaze That Trail design that I promised for the longest time. I do have that on there now. And something else I'm going to do, because this goal thing is kind of a new thing on YouTube, so people might not have been, ready for it. So I'm going to set another goal, but I'm going to mute that so you don't have to hear me repeating stuff. So we're going to do this for I guess we'll do it for an hour. Well, if it'll let me pick the hour, there we go. So if in an hour we can get 10 super chats, and that can be as little as $5, okay, I will do the poll with the movies chosen by the people that give super chats. Now remember, I have to get to the goal first before we actually do that. And from the winner of that poll, I will do a watch along for that movie. Okay, so everybody will be able to vote in the poll. But only the people that give the super chats will be able to choose the movies that go in that poll. So if you want to, have a watch along for your favorite movie, or have a chance to watch your favorite movie as a watch along with me and whoever my guest happens to be, the person that recommends it, and if that one wins, they're welcome to be on here. Like I say, as long as you can behave yourself, you can be on here. So I've got that goal set for the first hour, if we can get 10 super chats, and I'm not one to beg for money, folks, and that's not really what I'm doing. It's a way for you to support the channel and also get something in return. So it works both ways. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and add Candice on here. Hey,
Hey,
Candice.
how are you?
Good. Candace looks all not that she doesn't look bright and bubbly every time we do a Friday Foolish, but you look radiant today, Candace.
Well, thank you. I got my hair just thrown up in a rat's nest, and I was trying to hurry. You probably seen me. I was trying to hurry up and eat my dinner before I got come on here. So
Well, I could see you chewing and stuff, and that sometimes when see that, I like to ramble on anyway. But if I see somebody's backstage and they're seeming like they're trying to finish up food or drink or whatever, I usually will spread it out my talking a little bit.
well, I said, well, if I come on there and I'm still eating, I mean, it is a taste test show, so there.
There you go. Yeah, that works too. You can just say that's part of the taste test there. So
Yeah, yeah. I got dinner done late, so I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be eating on the camera again. But I guess it don't
so
matter for this show.
that's okay. I think, even if we're not doing a taste test, I think that's part of this free form thing that makes everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'm on here drinking alcohol. Sometimes I've got my soft drinks. I might have a salad or soup or, who knows what I may have on here.
Yeah, and that's a good thing about Friday Foolish is that we can do the free form kind of thing.
Exactly. And when me and Candace have been talking that the free form shows seem to be the more popular shows. I'm guessing because it makes people relax. They don't it, not that our other shows are rigid, but I think people really do like that kind of loose, free form, kind of flowing from one thing into another, and we
Yeah,
don't really stay stuck on one topic the whole time.
which it kind of allows us to be able to just talk about what we want to, too. So,
Yeah, yeah. And my dear husband's in here. Hi, Steve.
hey, Steve,
He's got an emoji that I can't see on my end. Maybe I could see it on the YouTube end. But
the
it's his
TV.
face orange TV shape. I don't know. I wonder if I can see it if I. Yeah, I can see it if I go to YouTube.
It's a little TV. It looks like it's got a little face on it.
Yeah. I don't know why sometimes I can't see it on the StreamYard side. I have to go to the YouTube side to see it. But anyways, so what do you think of the goal that I've been trying to set for these last couple
Yeah,
of
I mean, hey, I hope you get it.
I hope I do
That'd be
too.
nice.
And like I said, you guys and gals get something out of it as well because who knows, everybody might pick your movie, to
Good, yeah.
put into the poll. So seems like there was something else I wanted to tell everybody and you can thank Candace for this because it was Candace's idea, and I like to give credit where credit is due, for me to do like a vlog type of
Mm,
Halloween experience for you guys and gals. I've still got to piece that together. I've got to put all my little video segments together where I kind of gave everybody a blow by blow of the trick or treat uh, festivities and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I just thought that would have been a fun idea because I'm always interested. I mean, interested in what other people's doing, and we love Halloween, and some people can't get out and join the festivities, so seeing something like that gives somebody a sense of enjoyment and stuff. So it's like I'm interested to see how Dana's like trick or treat night goes and stuff. So I'm
right.
glad you did that. I'm glad you decided to do that.
Yeah, and now if I can get my lazy button gear. Well, I spent like early afternoon. I got all the Halloween
Mhm.
decorations and the stuff out of the yard put away. Did you hear that, Steve? And Steve tells me that it shows trick or treat has been delivered. So,
Woohoo!
guess what? In addition to a taste test, I'm going to take myself out of stream momentarily and let Candace keep everybody entertained. And I'll do an unboxing on here. I'm not going to, review
Yay!
it just yet, but I'll do an unboxing on this edition of Friday Foolish. But I will be right back.
Well, that's exciting because I'm really excited to get our copy of Trick or Treat. So I'm excited to see what it looks like in person. Well, it's not in person. I'm not there with Dana, but it's probably as close as I can get to it. So I'm excited to see that. I've not. I'm sure other people's already got theirs and done reviews maybe on it, but I've not looked or anything. So I'm excited about that. I hope everybody had a wonderful Halloween, and whether you go and you trick or treat or you our copy should be here on Monday. I hope, Chris. I hope that it is. I hope that it is. I mean, we were part of that watch along. Well, I wasn't. I didn't get to join it with Dana and Chris, but I was watching it when I was trying to do my homework, and I probably shouldn't have been paying attention to trick or treat while I was trying to do homework, but I was. Uh, but I'm excited to see it again. I don't care if I just watched it or not because that's a movie that I grew up loving, and I had the crappy like VHS copy that had been watched 1,000 times, and I mean, you get it from the VHS store back whenever, in ancient times, whenever we used to shop at, at the video rental stores. But then I finally found it on recorded tape of all things. Somewhere I forget, it might have been like a secondhand store or something. Somebody had it on VHS, had recorded it, I guess, off of another VHS, and I bought it, and that's the copy that I would watch all the time because I had it, didn't have to go rent it anymore. So I'm really excited because Chris said ours should be here on Monday, Dana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
excited to see.
While Candace was talking, I have sliced the tape on this. And Steve, you better not have gotten anything else from Jesse Nelson at Diabolic, because I'm gonna be disappointed to say 4K. I think it is though. I think it is, gang. So, this is a pretty neat little package too. So
Oh, that looks good. Let me see. Is it thick, Dana? Like a thicker? It looked like it
yeah,
would be.
yeah, you can see from the
Okay.
side there.
Better
Yeah.
watch out for that other stuff that Steve got in there.
You didn't get any porn, not in this box. You didn't. He thinks he's being a smart guy. But yeah, I know what I'm going to be watching tonight. I don't care if it is after Halloween. I'm watching this dang thing tonight. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be watching, and y'all look forward to that upcoming Evil Dead Chicks excellent movie reviews, where I'll be talking about all things trick or treat. And by
Oh,
the
I'm
way,
sure.
this is the limited edition, folks.
Mm, I'm sure that it's going to look good. I'm sure it's not going to disappoint her. It has to be better than what you know I, I grew up watching. So it has to be better than that.
I like too that it says Sammy Kerr is a rock and roll nightmare. Um, So yeah, the only thing that I was disappointed prior to getting this was, I mean, I'm ecstatic that Mark Price is going to be on the little documentary that's on here talking, but I don't know why. I don't know if they couldn't get him to do a commentary or he just wasn't interested in doing a commentary, but there's no commentary with Mark Price, which I thought
Mm.
would have been amazing. Considering what I've heard, that Mark Price is really excited about this being released.
And which copy you got? The A, right?
Yeah, I think this was the A where he's got Sammy
Yeah,
Kerr's got Eddie
I
in
like
his
that one. I
hand.
liked all of them. We got the C, I think. I
Mhm.
liked it. The reason really why I wanted that one, Dana, is it had Aussie on it.
That's right.
So I'm gonna let that determine what. what I want, and that's one Chris wanted too. So
Well, I know Chris said too that that was the only one that hadn't been like a previous artwork, like on
yeah,
a shirt or something like that. So, um, Steve was like, I don't know why, I'm happy with the one I got, but I don't know why I didn't just go look, why I didn't click on that link and just go look at them. I had Steve describe them to me. I bet he thought, you dumbass. Why don't you just
I
go
like
and
the
look?
one you got though. That one out of the three, that one really stood out a lot. I like that where he's holding him.
But so y'all look forward to that review coming up here shortly. It may come up tomorrow if I'm definitely going to sit down and watch it tonight. So Steve says damn about no porn in there. You need to be good, Steve. All right. So y'all ready for us to get to? Oh, Chris says the logo text on cover C is also the original text from the VHS poster. Okay,
Oh yeah,
that's VHS and poster. That's another reason. You know what? We always talk about nostalgia and stuff like that, and
yeah.
I totally get that. So, with all that being said, are y'all ready for us to get to this post Halloween taste test? And Steve's going to say, where'd all that damn candy come from? Probably. Because we have a whole bowl in it, a whole bowl of it in the kitchen. But it's not stuff I haven't ate before. This is stuff that I haven't ate before or haven't tried. And I'm really, especially after talking to Candace about these feastables, candy bars, I'm really looking forward to it. And
Yeah.
Candace, I don't think I answered you about how much this was. I think this was around $2.
Well, that's good. That's because usually those are kind of expensive. Now my gang likes those. The boys do. Chris doesn't like them. I don't care for them very much, but the boys love them. They also like that Mr. Beast. So that might have a play, but Noah absolutely loves those Feastable bars. They got this one. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It was called D's Nuts.
I think I have.
D's Nuts, and it's like a kind of like a Reese type bar with the peanut butter in the middle of it.
But it's got a funny name though. I could just see some kids snicker and go.
Oh yeah, they sneaker. They know all about the D's nuts thing. Unfortunately,
Kids ain't dumb. I tell you that they pick up on that
I
stuff.
was gonna say, "Mom, will you get me a D's nuts?" I said, "No."
Not if you keep saying it that way. I
Yeah.
won't get it for
Eh, we are just as what do you call it, childish as in humor than he is. So that's where he gets
Oh
it
my
from. So
gosh. I mean, Steve, will you won't mind if I tell the it's not really a fart joke, but it's a fart it's a fart story. If he don't want me to tell it, I won't tell it. But knowing Steve, he probably won't care if I tell it.
you say
So
it was a
Steve,
fart story.
yeah.
Me and Chris, we get the fart humor. We're into that.
Well, my parents have always, and I know they wouldn't care for me talking about this. Like Dad would do what they always called silent but deadly ones. Like you'd be sitting around, you wouldn't hear anything,
Yeah,
and
but you would about die. Yeah.
all of a sudden, this toxic smell would start covering over the room. Hey, Coco.
Hey.
Good to see you in here. She says, "Hey guys, have y'all heard that new CD? Are you talking about like the new
Oh,
CD for Trick or
the
Treat
trick or
or?"
treat.
Uh, Chris says, as the French taunter would say, "I fart in your general direction." Well, heck, I'm going to go ahead and tell it. I don't think Steve's going to get mad at me. It's just a fart story. Come on, everybody has a bunch of fart stories. CD's nuts.
That's a joke. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. We're gonna be
I'll have to tell somebody that one now.
yeah. Thanks, Coco. That's a good one to make us laugh today. Um, but anyway, back to the story I was gonna tell. Um, Steve and I had not been dating very long, and well, I guess we'd been dating a while. Um, and I think we had went to a Fright Night Film Fest convention, and it I think it was one of those years that it was super, super hot for one thing whenever the convention was going on. And it seemed like the air conditioner was broke in the hotel. And me and Steve, I don't know why we went outside to the vehicle, but we went outside to Steve's Jeep. He still had the Jeep then. And we were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, I heard this noise. And Steve kind of started laughing. He looked at me. He said, "Well, I think we've been dating long enough that I could fart in front of you now." And another time, though, and I'm not going to tell anything dirty, but me and Steve were just laying in bed, and Steve let one rip, and he lifted up the cover and started doing that man thing where they was like, they want you to smell it, and I'm like,
Oh,
Steve, good Lord, come on.
I've been there plenty of times. I've been the one doing it, and Chris has been the receiver end on that one, and vice versa. Listen, when you're together for so long, there's no any kind of.
No.
There's some people, and I won't mention names of people, but my grandparents were one. My mom's parents were one. They didn't do anything like that in front of one another. They
Uh,
didn't see each other in the bathroom or anything. And I was like, I would. What's
now,
Are
now,
you comfortable?
Steve does not like, he wants the door shut if he's, sitting on the toilet. Um, and he doesn't want to see me on the toilet either. And it's not like something that you want to see somebody doing, but I won't go, oh my gosh, if I see somebody sitting on the toilet. Um, but Steve is like, I'm on the toilet, like if I guess out of his peripheral vision, if he sees somebody coming, I'm on the toilet. It's like, okay, shut the door. Come on, let's chill out. Hey, TJ. TJ says Candace won't mention names.
No, because if they watch this, they get mad at me. They, why'd you say that?
But, I got a ton of like, you know, fart stories. And one, anybody that's ever watched Eddie Murphy's Delirious, he talks about farting, and how his parents would his dad would say, "Baby, you rotten." He'd let off one and he'd blame it on his wife or whatever. And
People tuning in like, what have I tuned
what
in
in the world are they talking about? Uh, Steve needs that privacy, Chris. I guess he does. I mean, now we'll come in there when one or the other is in the shower and one of us gets out naked or something like that. We're not like that, but
There's no privacy between me and Chris because I don't care and he don't care. I guess that's what it is. He has to walk in. I don't care if he wants to come into that. That's fine.
I mean, I'm
I
I'm sure
choose
that
not to walk into it because I don't, unless I absolutely have to, because I just don't want to be. You know what I mean?
I'm sure the dogs think, "What in the world?" Because sometimes when it's just me and the dogs here, I might walk through the entire house. I have the blinds closed or anything. I don't want to flash the neighbors or anything, but I'll walk through the house completely naked, not a stitch on. I'll think, "Oh, I forgot to get something, and I was getting ready to take a shower or something, and here I go." Oh,
I have that one dog that wants to stay with me at all times, even whenever I go to the bathroom. I'm like,
yep.
can you just give me a little space, dude? Miko, he wants to follow me everywhere I go, even like if it's like going to the bathroom or to take a
Reggie's
shower or
like
something like that.
that.
He wants to lay in there while I'm taking a shower or something like this. Give me
Reggie
some
wants
space.
Reggie wants to jump up on me while I'm sitting on the toilet. And I'm like, dude, come on. Can you wait until I
Oh
finish
my god.
going to the bathroom?
Oh
But
my
anyway,
goodness.
before we drive everybody away,
Yeah,
because they'll
I
be
think
like,
we've lost some viewers for that.
we'll get started with this taste test. Now, Candace, do you want to try something first, or you want me to
You
try
can go
something?
first.
All right.
You go just 8. I'll let you go first.
So I have been wanting to try this feastable, this
I'm
Mr.
interested to see what you think about that because I don't care for them and Chris don't care for them, but like I said, the boys love them.
Let's see. This one's just milk chocolate. So I've had Hershey's. I've had, other milk chocolate if I can get this thing open. So let's try this here.
It's a different taste.
I like it, but it almost, you know what this tastes like to me? It tastes like fantasy fudge that I make at Christmas time.
Mm.
And it's a recipe that my mom always used that used to be on the marshmallow cream
Oh yeah, yeah.
containers. Yeah.
It's different, isn't it?
Mhm. It almost tastes like a cross between fantasy fudge and a glass of chocolate milk, if that makes any sense
Yeah.
at all.
I don't think I've ever had fantasy fudge, so I can't really compare it to. But I know it's a different
It's
taste.
definitely not a Hershey's chocolate bar taste, but I'm liking it. I could see myself getting one of these
Well,
again.
good.
Yeah. If you like chocolate milk and you like fancy fudge, if you've had fancy fudge, Chris says there's no way the Mr. Beast milk chocolate is actually milk chocolate.
It's a deeper, like a dark. It tastes more on the darker side of milk chocolate. Do you agree, Dana?
Well, it's close, but not quite for me in that direction because it's got a creamy taste to it,
Yeah.
and I think that makes it a little lighter than dark chocolate.
What do you give it? Out of, like if you was giving it a, score, what would you give it?
I think I'd give this if I did my deadites range scale. I'm going to give it. Hold on here. Let me get. I'm going to give it 4 deadites out of 5.
I think that's fair. I think I would give it around a 3. I would say because I've had it. I've eaten it before.
So we'll
It's
put
not
Candace's
terrible.
score up there too.
It's not terrible. It's not like, but it's just different. I guess is what I'm not big on chocolate or anything like that, but um, I'm more used to that Hershey's, I guess, chocolate.
Yeah, I mean Hershey's. I feel like is still my number one,
Yeah,
number one chocolate bar.
because me and Chris we eat those symphony bars, it's got like toffee and like I think almonds in it. It's really good.
Right. Now, y'all will notice I'm not eating a whole lot because number one, I'm diabetic, and all if I ate all of this, Steve would probably have to take me to the hospital.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm trying to be careful. So that's why I only took like a little bit of this. Okay. And so that one was pretty good. Hopefully the rest of this stuff is good. Now we'll see what Candace has got here.
Well, like I
Unless you're to, I don't want to say stuff more food in yourself, Candace, if you're still full.
no, I was starved to death. I hadn't ate today, so I was happy to eat what I did. I still left a little room, but I don't eat a lot of candy. I'm not really a big sweet eater or anything like that. But I did steal some stuff from Noah's his little treat bag or whatever from trick or treating yesterday, and I can go over some stuff that. There's a few things I've not tried, but I have more, I guess, savory things, I guess, to try and stuff. But the first thing I want to show you, it's not really something I've not. eaten before because I have eaten it, but it was something that I figured that somebody might want to try.
Mm.
Um, and that is frozen grapes. Have you ever tried frozen grapes before?
I have not, but you know what? That was something
See,
that was recommended before when I was doing like the Noom diet and stuff
yeah.
like that. They recommended you freezing the grapes.
Well, if you like ice cream and stuff like that, but you don't want to get something really sweet or anything like that, we take these grapes, and I hadn't tried it in a really long time. It'd been a while because I had tried this before years ago, um, and the kids loved it. They went crazy over it, and I just randomly thought of it one day, and I had some Jello in the cabinet. I'm sure you could do it with yogurt. You could do it with all kinds of things if you don't like Jello. Some people don't want to do Jello, and if you don't want to do, if you want to do Jello but you want to do sugar free, you could do that. But what you do is you take some lime juice or lemon juice and you squeeze it over the grapes. And then you take your jello and sprinkle it over it. And I had some green apple jello.
Ooh, that
You
sounds
take
good.
it and you put it over your grapes and then you freeze it. And it turns out like this.
Oh, that's really cool. It's sour.
Really cold too.
Mm.
But before I make a mess, it tastes like, especially with the green apple, mixed with that, like the lemon juice or the
Hmm.
lime juice. That's what I use. Tastes like a green apple Jolly Rancher. But I've tried this with like grape jello. I've tried it with watermelon. It tastes like you're eating like a, not an ice cream, but like a popsicle or something, like a fruity popsicle. It's really good, and I recommend it if you like fruit, if you like stuff like that. I don't know if you would call it healthy, where it's got the jello and stuff in it, but I would think that it's more on the healthier side, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
it's probably healthier than ice cream or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you this: you want to leave out the jello and stuff, just take it because I've done this too, and it tastes just as good. Leave out the jello and stuff. Just take the lime juice, pour it over it, stick it in there, let it freeze. Tastes just as good. So that was my little treat I wanted to share with everybody, and
So,
uh,
what rating would you give that, Candace?
I would give that about a 5. I love that. I could sit and eat that all day. I love fruit. That's something I really, really love. So, because if I eat candy and stuff like that, it makes me feel bad. I don't like sitting and eating a lot of candy or any kind of sweet stuff because it just makes me feel bad. But this doesn't. This makes me feel, like normal. I don't have any kind of like effects with it or anything like that. So,
Mm,
I give that a 5.
I think that's fair, and I'm excited. I want to try that out. I want
Try
to.
that.
Mhm.
Try it both with just the lime juice or the
Mhm.
lemon juice, whatever you use, um, first, or make two little things. But freeze you some with just the lime juice, and then try the Jello too. Watermelon Jello. I like the green apple, but that watermelon Jello is really good.
Have you tried cherry?
I've not tried cherry, but I'll tell you what I did try. Sonic, because I
Mhm.
think this green apple is Sonic brand. Also has the ocean water. Me and Chris, we love the ocean water at Sonic. Do you know ocean water? Have you ever tried the ocean water at Sonic?
Not
It's like
not
it's
the ocean water. No.
it's like 7 Up that
Mhm.
has this like syrup that they put in it, and it's like a coconut like syrup they put in. It's really good. So I have taken that ocean water flavored Jello and put Sprite in
Uh,
on the grapes, and then put the Jello powder on it. It was really good too.
I got a bunch of interesting things to try. Steve would probably be like, "Yeah, he doesn't like grapes anyway." So,
Does
but
it
I
run?
love
Does it
grapes.
run your sugar up really high, Dana?
I haven't ever had it do that.
So
Um,
that could probably be a treat that you could try. Maybe get some sugar-free Jello
right.
or something to put on it, and it
Yep.
probably would be a healthy like snack for you. or healthier snack. I don't think
Uh,
Jello is quite healthy, but you know what I mean.
Coco says ocean water is so good, so she's had it.
Dana, if you like coconut, I don't know if you do or not, and Sprite, and
I
you could.
like I like the taste of coconut. Like I've always said, I love the taste of coconut, just not the texture of flaked coconut. I
Well,
don't.
it don't have any flakes in it. It's really good.
And I gotta read this. Chris said, "You're too generous, Dana." Talking about, I'm assuming he was talking about the Mr. Beast Feastables.
Oh,
I don't know. I like it, Chris. And TJ says, I've been eating candy since last night. Only got two trick or
mm.
treaters, lol. Hey, did it rain in your neck of the woods, TJ? I mean, we had, it kind of sprinkled a little bit. And when I went out there to give them candy, I got a few droplets on my Laurie Strode costume. But, it wasn't that bad.
We didn't see any rain yesterday, thank goodness, but it was just so hot.
It was just hot. And I think the rain kept it a little on the cooler side for us. It kept it like in the 60s for most of the day. Well, let's see. What do I want to try next here? Get ready for me to make some faces if this is really sour. So I'm
Uh-oh.
going to switch gears. And I've never been like a huge fan of Mike and Ike's. I like the hot tamales better,
Mhm.
but I've never had the sour one. So I'm gonna try a couple of these Mike and Ike sours. Steve likes Mike and Ike's. He doesn't like hot tamales. I guess
I
he's
like the hot. I love cinnamon.
I do too. Huge cinnamon fan. Okay, so I've got a red and purple one, and
Mm.
they've got the flavors listed. So the purple one's sour grape soda, and
Mm.
the red one is sour screaming cherry. So let's try the grape one first. I'm waiting for some extreme sour to hit. I don't think it's going to. This is the right amount of sour.
It's like a milder sour.
It's like a medium sour. It's not overpowering. Now I'm not saying you might not go out and buy a box of these, and it's like Grippo potato chips.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes Grippos they don't hardly have any of the seasoning on them, and sometimes you'll get them where it has 5 inches. I ain't kidding you. It's like 5 inches of that stuff on it.
I, I think we've talked about this before. Grippos, the heat level has went from like hot to like the fire of hell. There is no in between anymore. Like it's like it's like I can't eat them anymore. I used to love them because my dad loved Grippos, but
My brother always loved them.
yeah,
I think he still does, but they kind of mess his stomach up. Now, I will tell you guys and gals that the cherry one is a little more sour than the grape one,
yeah. I figured it would be a little bit more tangier than the other.
a little more tart. Um, TJ says no rain in his area. Chris said it was hotter than Beelzebub's anus last night. I'm not even going to ask Chris how he knows how hot Beelzebub's anus is.
Well, I'll tell you this: when we parked, when we
Yeah.
got out of the car, it smelled like Beelzebub's anus. It was bad.
Oh,
It
man.
must have been a sewer leak or something. I was like, what in the world's going on here?
Um,
Not
y'all,
like anybody
y'all,
wanted to know
y'all
that, but
don't realize that live in like, well, I don't want to say upper crust areas, but more cityfied areas. When you live out in the sticks, like I lived out in the sticks when I was growing up,
Chris did too.
and sewer was a way of life. Smelling sewer was just a way of life. That and the paper mill. Has anybody ever had a paper mill close to where they live? I'm sorry for using this word, but you would leave your house some mornings and it would smell like shit for miles. So be thankful if you never had a paper mill in close proximity of your house.
Well, Chris lived downwind from a slaughterhouse.
Oh, oh, that's gotta be
See,
bad.
I'm from the city. I mean, from some people from the actual big cities be like, "You're from the sticks." No, not to me. I'm not. I'm from the city. I was born and raised in the city, as city as you can get in a little town in Kentucky. So
Mm.
I'm not like used to that kind of thing. Well, you'll go around and go on the bypass or something, and you'll a sewer leak or something. But like whenever I remember going to visit in Chris's house, I was like, "What is?" He says, "It's a slaughterhouse." I go, "What? We have those around here?" I didn't,
Oh.
because he's from a different county than me. I'd
Mm.
have to travel to go and see him. So he was just used to it. But now I don't think I don't think he's used to that kind of thing anymore.
I think I got more used to a sewage smell than I did the paper mill smell. It
Really?
was oh, it was overpowering. You wouldn't think, I guess cutting up trees and making that pulp and all that stuff would stink like
I wonder
that. But
why.
I don't know. But for years, we'd leave the house, me and my parents, or me and my brother and my parents, and we'd leave out in the early morning, and you'd be like, oh my gosh. And dad or mom would invariably say, yeah, it's the paper mill, it's the paper
I
mill.
could understand if it was a glue factory or something, but not to be mean, but
No,
um,
I mean, that would make more
it would
sense.
make sense. But I don't think that they have to use animals or anything for. And I don't like talking about that kind of thing. I don't mean to bring that up, but I mean it's I'm just trying to make logical sense as to why it would
Right.
be that way, unless they have to like heat that paper up and
I
stuff
don't
like
know if
that.
it was maybe chemicals that they were
Could have
using, but
been, could have been.
because I'll tell you something else that smells like somebody shit their pants is if somebody has sulfur on them.
Oh, sulfur.
Sulfur.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that stuff stinks. I
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad, but we all felt bad. But when I was in my first library job, these two people came in late in the day of the library, and the whole building
Yeah.
smelled like some baby had used the bathroom on
Like
themselves.
rotten eggs. Yeah, is what
Yeah,
it smells
oh,
like.
it was awful.
I used to go to school with a girl who I guess they had sulfur water, well water or something that wasn't filtered and stuff. And she sat in front of me and it was bad. It wasn't her fault. She was just a kid,
Right.
but I didn't understand what that was, and somebody told me, and I was like, you know, kids are not kind. I'll tell you
No,
that.
no, they are not. And some adults aren't kind either, but that's another story for another day.
But I
That's
seen,
Chris.
I seen
He,
Chris's comment. Do
he
you?
says he says it must have been a sewer leak when we was in line to meet Don Coscarelli at
Do
Scarefest.
you remember the message I sent you, Dana?
And I looked at Steve and I said, oh my gosh, Steve, you'll never guess what Candace.
Me and Chris were standing in the line, and I know people's getting tired probably hearing us talk about sewer jokes and stuff like that. And I promise we'll try to
This
get
is
off of that.
all part of that free form stuff, people.
But we were standing in line getting ready to meet Don Coscarelli. We both were really excited because he was just so enthusiastic and nice. And if you've ever met him, then you'll know that.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple guys in front of us and a couple guys in front of them. And it wasn't them. It wasn't those guys. It was somebody like over to the left of us. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was more than a sewer smell. This was like, I don't even want to say. It hit. I thought I was going to throw up. I thought I was going to get
That's
sick. And Chris was just kind of looking at each other, and he was like, he's like, what if we get up there and I can't contain the I was nervous because I'm like, because I was literally getting sick, and I wrote down. I said, I don't know what's happened. It's like I forget what I said, but like somebody shit their
Something to that effect.
and she's like, "Oh no!" I was like, "Yeah, it was bad." But thankfully, by the time that we got up there, it was okay, and I didn't. That person must have moved on, but I would hate to be the celebrity that person,
Well,
whoever
that's
that
what I
was.
was saying. Can you? I was thinking about poor Robert England while you were saying this. Like, what if somebody came up to him and wanted to get a picture with him, and they're like right up close to him?
I'm sure that he's experienced that. I'm sure that majority of the celebrities have experienced that.
That or
Um,
body odor.
Listen, I would rather smell the body odor than what we were, unfortunately being forced to endure there because that was bad,
Yeah.
bad. I,
Chris
it,
said they shit themselves for sure. Maybe they were just so anxious about meeting Don Coscarelli.
oh my gosh,
And
it
I'm
was.
not trying to make fun of people, guys and gals. I
But we was
promise
like
I'm
looking
not.
around trying to like determine who it could have been.
Mm.
And usually you can say, well, it's probably that person there or something, but I didn't see anybody that looked like they were having a hard time, you
Being
know.
distressed.
So I don't know.
Oh, I got another like a fart story to tell. People be like, "Oh God." But my dad used to, I don't know if Candace's dad ever did this or anybody else's dad ever did this, but my dad used to let like those toxic farts in the store.
Oh
We'd
my,
be in the store and then he'd run over to another aisle so people wouldn't know it was him.
oh my goodness.
And I was like, Dad. And Mom would be like, Daryl, she didn't get on him about doing that. And here's another, I'll tell another story on Steve. He don't care. He'll pass gas in the store or something, and I'll smell something. I'll say, Steve. I said, did you just pass gas? And sometimes he'll say, yeah, it was me. Other times he just won't say anything at all and just keep walking. But you know, um, there we lost somebody talking about fart stuff. We did have seven. Now we got six. But anyway, I promise I'll behave myself. I'll try to get off that, but I couldn't help it. Chris says Coscarelli had to have been gay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
If he didn't, he had a nose of steel. I'll just tell you that right now.
or he couldn't smell anything. Like
Good
that might
smell
have been a blessing if his nose was stopped up and he
it.
couldn't
Yeah,
smell anything that day.
I would think. Said when we got up there, he said, "What about if it's him?" I said, "Chris, shut up." He was just joking. Trying to make me laugh. I didn't want to breathe. I said, "Don't make me breathe."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, so Candace, you got something else you want to try there?
Well, listen, I'm trying to figure out what I want to get my good stuff done, and then I'll leave this candy for later in case we. Um, so this is nothing for Halloween or well, it could be, I guess, if somebody wants to give it. But it's something called natto. I don't know if you've ever heard of natto before, but this is the package that it comes in.
No,
I can't read
I
that.
don't think I've seen that.
I don't think I can read that too. But I want to tell you what natto is. Um, it says natto is and I hope I'm saying that right from watching people eat it and stuff online and stuff. That's how they pronounce it. Natto is a traditional Japanese food made from whole soybeans that have been fermented with some kind of like thing, like what do you call it? It's a bacteria, I guess, is what it is found in
Oh, okay.
soil. It is often served as a breakfast food with rice. It is served with karashi mustard, and I hope I'm saying this right, soy, or tar sauce. So I bought these and I had one. I opened it up and stared it up and stuff, and I was just like mesmerized. I was kind of scared to eat it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But me and Noah just took a little bitty, small little like little bite of it, and from what I tasted, which wasn't very much, it's an acquired taste for sure. Um, Even people that's probably from because I've watched people on there. They're like, I'm Japanese, and even for me, it's an acquired taste. Some people like it, some people don't, but I've always been interested in it, and it comes in these little things like this.
Huh.
And it's these little soybeans, and I was so excited to find this because we went to Jungle Gyms, and that place has everything. And I love Japanese food. It's something that's one of my favorite things in the whole world. So, um, to be able to be in a place because I'm from a little town, we don't have that kind of thing around here. We have some things like that, but not a whole lot. We surely don't have natto. So it just comes like this, and just watch how cool this is, Dana. Let me bring you down a little bit so I can. So it comes in this little pack like that, and look at this. Can
Wow.
you see that?
Uh-huh.
Can you see those little strands?
Looks like little tendrils or something.
Yeah, watch this. Let's see. Isn't that neat?
That
It's
is
like it's a fermented soybean.
uh-huh.
So I'm going to properly mix it up with this like oil that it's provided with and this mustard. If I can get it off of here. And I'm going to give it a proper taste. Now, I don't know if I'm going to swallow it or not, but I'm going to try at least. Now, it smells good. It smells like coffee beans.
Oh, okay.
But I'll give you a little close up view of that. I know I don't have the best light and stuff, but
It looks
that's
like
it.
it looks like pork and beans with something
Kind
on
of, yeah. And it comes with this little pack of oil.
it. Okay.
And a little bitty thing of mustard. And
Is that
Chris,
is that hot mustard,
I
Candace?
don't know. I don't know. I'll open it up and I'll see. I'll taste it before I put it on there. But the smell, like whenever I bought before, like seeing people eat these and stuff, which when I see people eating the natto, and again, I hope I'm saying that right. I usually eat it with the rice and stuff like that. So I'm sure this would be really good with rice. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't have any, so I got another one of these in the fridge. So I'm thinking about stuck. I'm thinking about if I can roll with it, trying it again, but with like a
Mm-hmm.
proper like meal. So
Right.
here I go. I'm gonna try to get my thing here. So here's the little oil and the oh my gosh, it got stuck to it's stuck to the little tendrils of. So I'm just taking it and
I
putting.
don't know. This is starting to look like Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
I
where that stuff
know.
would grow over the people.
Yes.
Candace
Uh,
might, well, Chris might wake up to a new Candace tomorrow. Like,
so here's the little must. I'm gonna try it before I want Chris to try this too. Mm. It's a mustard. It's like a Japanese mustard. It's got like horseradish.
oh,
It's
okay.
really good. So I don't know if I should mix before I put that mustard in it. Let's mix it with the oil. Isn't that neat?
We're
You're
gonna
probably
we're
thinking.
gonna have to retitle this "Cooking with Dana and Candace."
All right. So let's put the mustard down in it. Okay. And I've had this in my fridge for a while, but it was closed up and stuff. And I looked it up. I was like, how long Can you keep natto in your fridge? And it said you could for several months. So smell, but it does smell good. It to me kind of smells like a coffee bean or something.
Mm-hmm. And I like the smell of coffee beans.
I wish you were here to try this. Would you
Well,
try it? Would
I
you try it?
I would try it. I might try to see if I can find it here in Louisville somewhere.
So you're supposed to like mix it up really good. So here I go, Dana.
All
Now let me kind of pull this back because I don't want it getting attached to the. Let's see. I wish I had my chopsticks. Probably make it easier.
I just hope this stuff isn't like the stuff in the movie, the stuff, and like it's going to take Candace over or something.
Look at this. Okay, Dana. Now it smells chocolatey.
Wow, that's
I'm not joking. Like it, after putting that oil and the mustard in it, it's
mhm.
got like a chocolatey smell to it.
Hmm.
Anybody that's watching, have you ever tried natto? Okay. Mmm, that is good.
So what would you give that if you gave it a rating? What would you give that?
Well, it's got like this small bitterness to it, but it's like a chocolatey coffee bitterness. That would be really good with the rice. Maybe some egg yolk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because I'm not used to the taste, but it was still good. I give that about a 4.
Okay.
It it's got like a ton of different like there's different notes. There's like that chocolatey, there's like that coffee kind of note. At some points it's got like that like a, maybe even like a barbecuey taste, but it only hits just like for a split second. I'm interested to see if Chris would come in here and try it.
Chris is
Now,
eerily silent right now.
yeah. Now it I don't know if he'll try it or not, but the slimy part
Uh-huh.
I thought would be bad. Like I couldn't get past it, but for some reason it doesn't affect me in a bad way. Like it
Okay.
wasn't hard to eat. Like it's really sticky and stuff. But see, whenever I tried it, the first when I first got these, me and Noah just opened it up
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of stuck her, just took one and just kind of took a little tiny
Oh,
bite to it.
gotcha. Mhm.
But I think adding that oil and that mustard really like brought out
Chris,
the flavor.
Chris said, "I'm not trying that stuff."
Please come and try this, Chris. It's not bad. I promise you. It's
I'm
not.
willing to try it, Chris, if I can get my hands on some of
It's
it.
not bad. This would, like I said, would be really good with like the rice and maybe some spring onion, some kimchi, maybe a little egg yolk or something like that, like a runny egg or something. That'd be really
Yeah.
good. I like it. I think that it's different, but I'm glad that I actually properly tried it. Which I know that's probably not the proper way to try it. The proper way would probably be to eat it with the accompanying type thing. But like I said, I give that about a 4. It's unique, and I'd be interested if you could ever find it, Dana. And try it.
Well, I'll let you know. I maybe I could. There's an Asian, like an Asian supermarket. I wonder if I
Hmm.
could find something like that there.
That is really. I actually want to make some rice and finish that
Yeah,
later.
that's what. If I can find that stuff, I want to get the rice and
Hmm.
have it with rice.
Maybe get like a I don't know if you like kimchi or anything like that, but get a little kimchi and try it with that and some maybe like a egg yolk, like a
Yeah,
runny egg.
I'd like to do it with the egg too. Yeah.
That'd be really good, but very interesting. I'm I'm down for some more. It's a very unique flavors. And I say flavors because it's more than like when you eat it, you're like, wow, this is giving so many different flavors. But I think you may like it, Dana.
I think I would too. I mean, it doesn't like to me, just looking at it on camera, it doesn't look gross. It looks, I don't know, it's interesting. It intrigues me.
It's I remember when I first seen it, I was like, "What is this stuff?" Because they would like, zoom in on them, like stirring it up and stuff like that, and they would put the oil and the mustard and stuff in it, and it was just like so slimy. I was like, "That looks like some kind of slime or something that you'd like
Right.
make up and play
Looked
with."
like Slimer had flew through that or something.
That's what it kind of feels like and stuff. But the flavor is total because I thought where it was fermented, I thought like before I got it and actually smelled of it and all that good stuff, I thought it would be a sour. Because when I think of
Yeah.
fermentation, I think of sour. But
Mhm.
all it is soybeans. I mean, it's not nothing that's and that kind of fermentation, so that's good for your stomach. Like that's
Yeah.
good gut bacteria and stuff like that. So I mean,
A healthy
uh-huh.
bacteria for you.
So
Um,
yeah, I think that I like it.
maybe, maybe you can get Chris to try some later on or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he may come in here. I might can talk him into coming in here.
Yeah, that would be good, and we could have him on the stream too.
Just come in here and try it.
Just a little bite, just try a little bite. I think what I'm going to go with next because I've had Reese cups.
Mm,
Like I was telling Candace earlier, number one, have I not had the big cups, and I haven't had the ones with caramel
mhm.
either. So again, I'm not going to eat the whole daggone thing. Steve will be like, "All right,
That'll be hard. That will be hard not to.
yeah,
'Cause
I'm
like
gonna."
I said, I'm not big on sweets, and Reese cups are not my thing, but those are delicious. Those are really good.
So this is I hate to say this, but this is probably about the size that Reese cups, regular Reese cups used to be. They weren't
Yeah,
they weren't this tall, but they were this big.
they
And
were
now you
rounds
get to
when
get these little bitty jobbies. All right, so here we go. You can see that is thicker than a regular Reese cup. All right.
to me it's the best.
Oh, I want to get this. Oh, this is that good caramel too.
Mhm.
Dang. It's
Good,
gonna
isn't
be
it?
hard not to keep eating this dang thing. That is really good. Candace is right on that.
Really good.
I want to have one more bite, and then I'm going to set this aside.
That's probably gonna be the hardest thing for you not to try to eat the whole thing because it's good, Dana. It
But
is to me.
I'm going to set it over there, and hopefully I won't be grabbing it. But yeah, this one's going to have to get a 5
Oh, yeah.
because it's that good. So if y'all have not tried those Reese's big cups with the caramels in them, definitely get that because you know, and I'm sure Candace knows. There's good caramel and there's bad caramel, just like there's
Mhm.
good caramel and there good chocolate and bad chocolate. And if you ask Chris, that Feastables would probably be bad chocolate. But that is the really good creamy
It is.
caramel that I really really like. And Candace, you've had bad caramel before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
And we're not saying bad karma, we're saying bad caramel. But yeah, that was yeah. I think I ate about half of that thing, because I kept saying I'm just going to take one more bite of it. But it was really really good. Yeah, that one gets definitely 5 deadites out of 5.
Good.
All right, so Candace will be like, "But I just ate something." We're probably going to keep going with this, and we're going to be like, "Oh, I can't eat anything else."
trying to get my fork back from this natto, and it's just like just going everywhere. It's got like a I don't know it that natto again. Not to keep on talking about that, but like I said, it just ever so often it hits like a barbecue kind of flavor too. It's weird.
Is it like a kind of like a smoky taste or something?
Yeah, well, like a like whenever you get like burnt ends,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
something like yeah, something just like it's like a split second of that flavor. It's really
Steve likes
strange.
burn ends. He should try that.
Yeah,
I don't think Steve's been in here for a while. He probably got busy having to do something at
yeah,
work. But Candace, did you want me to try another one of mine to give you a little extra?
yeah. Since I took so long on the one, go
Well,
ahead and do
okay.
another.
So this time, now I've had nerds before, but I don't think I've had these gummy cluster nerds. So we're gonna give these a try. Henley's gonna love this when he watches
Oh yeah,
this.
he will. No, they like no. Is it the little bitty bites of like the nerd rope that's been cut up?
I think it is because that's what it looks like on the inside.
Oh, those are Henley's favorite. That's funny that you said that because that is his favorite. He loves those.
And they do come in these little full packages, gang.
Yeah.
Um, so they're little, they enlarge them on
Mm-hmm.
the package to
Yep.
show the detail of them. But let's ooh
Yeah, those
really
are
good.
good.
hmm I'm a big fan of nerds. Some people don't like nerds.
It's something I've not seen. Maybe I'm just not looking. You used to like whenever you would check out
hmm
at like a register or something, you would see like different types of like nerds like in the box. And you don't see those anymore. Have you seen a Nerds box in a really long time? Like a
I
typical
don't think so. Come to think
because
of it.
I know like during Halloween, they would always have like an orange and black box, I think. Like
hmm
one side would be grape and one side would be orange. You don't see those anymore like that.
Well, you might get big ones like this one. This one's like two of them stuck together. Yeah, but they're almost like a gummy bear with nerds on it.
Yeah. Very chewy.
Very chewy, yeah. Don't get choked on them or anything, gang. If you try these, I'm gonna have to stop on those too for now because I'm really liking those. Um, I think I'm gonna give those a 4, maybe a 4.5. I know I don't have the half on there. I don't have it yet. TJ's gonna get me for that, not having the half in there. So, I guess if it's okay with Candace, I could try one more thing, and then we'll
Yeah.
turn it back over to her. I'm gonna try this Jif to go, this
Mm.
peanut butter and chocolate, because I haven't had these. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be gross. Like I said, I don't have any apple slices or anything like that, or any strawberries or anything to
Be
dip.
good with like a graham cracker, Dana.
Yeah, but I don't think I got any graham crackers right now. If I like this though, I'll buy me some. Maybe when me and Steve
Yeah.
go into town tomorrow. But I'm just going to take a little taste of it. That is an interesting taste. It's not like a really rich chocolate, but it's not really a milk chocolate either. I
It's
don't,
not like a hazelnut chocolate, is it? Or is it just like a milk chocolate?
it's like a uh, delicate milk chocolate, if that
Okay.
makes any sense. Um, it's not real milky, and you can taste a lot more of the peanut butter
Mm-hmm.
than you can the chocolate. I will say that,
Hmm.
but it is good though. Yeah,
Well,
I think this would definitely be good on graham crackers.
my gang, they like the Nutella, like the hazelnut spread.
Right. Mhm.
But Walmart has this, and if you like cookies and like the cookies and cream, the Hershey's cookies and cream,
Mhm.
they have that as a spread, and
Oh,
it's that Better Goods brand that I was telling you about,
I need to
and
I need to check that out. It's at Walmart, right?
it's really really good. On like graham crackers, apples, stuff like that.
I'm gonna give I'm gonna give that a 4. Um, People are probably thinking you're being extra generous on this
It's
stuff.
just all good, isn't it?
I haven't hit anything that's bad yet, so all right. So I'll turn it back over to Candice now. I've got about 4 more things I can try really
Okay.
quickly.
Well, I have another like savory type thing that kind of went with the natto.
Mhm.
That I was excited to get at Jungle Gyms. That place is awesome. I can't wait to go back. Um, we spent so much money. I don't even want to tell you how much. Um, but um, I love like pickled ginger stuff like that. So whenever I would watch these like mukbangs and stuff, because I like watching people eat. I don't know why. It's something I like. It relaxes me. Um, I always would like crave the pickled radish that they would eat.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Ooh, pickled radish," because I like radishes, I always have. And it's a radish made out of the big old like white daikon radishes. And what it's called, I can't pronounce that, and I don't want to butcher it, but it's Takuan. That's kind of what the name, I guess, is what they call it. But it's just basically pickled daikon radish. And
Mhm.
I'd opened it up and put it in this Ziploc bag here, and I'm going to get a piece of it here. So this is it.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting it to look like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So now I have seen some people have it that's just white. They don't add probably the food coloring or whatever they put in it. But what it is says in the context of Korean cuisine is a pickled preparation of the daikon radish. So let's see. I don't know how to pronounce it. Taquan maybe, and I know that's probably butchering the name. Is often
Works
served.
for me. I said it works for me. It sounds good.
Takuan is often served uncooked alongside other types of pickled things, and there's a name for it. I can't pronounce it. It is also enjoyed at the end of meals to aid digestion. So it's good for your stomach. Good for like if you're eating sushi or something like that. I'm sure. So something that is used a lot in like a Japanese meal, Korean meal, stuff like that, and Asian meals. But before I eat it, what I'm thinking it's going to taste like, but after reading what it says here, I'm probably going to be surprised because I was thinking about it because it's a pickled, it's basically a pickled radish. On here it says that it's sweet.
Hmm.
So that's something that I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to try it and see if it's more along the lines of like a pickled or a sweet pickle. So smells sour. Mm. So it's good,
Mhm.
but it isn't sour. Um, that actually tastes like a sweet pickle. If you've ever had a sweet pickle
Yeah.
or a bread and butter pickle, even It's really good. I could see myself eating this with like, and I bought 2 of them, so I'll have it for a while. I could see myself eating this with like spam and rice or something like that, or like a sushi or something. It's really
Hmm.
good. It's different.
It reminds me of like a big dill pickle slice.
Well, if you like sweet pickles, that's what it tastes like. I like sweet
I
pickles.
prefer dill, but I mean, I'm not against eating sweet pickles.
Growing up, I always wanted to like sweet pickles, but I just didn't like them. I would try to eat them, but they really didn't click with me. So I'd buy a jar and I just let them waste, really. But as I've grown older, I prefer having a sweet pickle like once a night or something like that because I love pickles. I try to eat that a lot. Um, and I like having a sweet pickle to kind of like even out, like for like a midnight snack or something like that.
Right.
Instead of going and getting something I really shouldn't eat, I'll get something like a pickle or something. So I like pickles. And I like these. These are really, really good. It's not what I expected. I was
Uh,
expecting it to be sour, but it's not, and it's really good. I like it. I give
so
that 4.
4. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Me and Candace are giving a lot of 4s and 5s, but I guess it's because we haven't hit on anything that hasn't tasted good. Um, well, the next thing I'm going to try, and people are probably going to say, "Oh, Dana, that's so it's childish," and probably think it's a little gross, but I had not tried one of these, but these are baby bottle pops. See, I've taken the top off that looks like a baby bottle.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking, this is blue raspberry flavored. And I'm thinking it's just a, I don't know if y'all can see that real good in there, but I don't want to dump it out. It's just a powdery substance, and I'm thinking it's going to be like, does anybody remember Licklemade? Or that's what I always called it, Licklemade, that, or Fun Dip,
Oh yeah.
that was in those little packets and it was
Yeah.
powder and you had a little candy stick that you licked and you stuck it down. Not very hygienic. Can you imagine kids doing that and like all licking off of the candy sticking it on all the different pouches? Now, I've heard it called Licklemade, and I've also heard it called Fun Dip. Uh,
Fun dip, what
as
they
well.
call it, I think these days. But
But I think what you're supposed to do is lick this and then stick it down in here. This is probably going pretty much in the days of COVID and stuff. You don't want to be sharing this, folks. So I'm going to do this, and the believe it or not, the nipple part of the bottle is a sucker. I'm not gonna like stick it in my mouth like a baby would do. But now I'm gonna dip it in this powdery stuff. It's again, it's not overpowering sour, but maybe if you the more of this stuff you get on there, it's like a sucker
yeah,
with some kind of powdery, soury. I don't think sour is a word, but you know what I mean. It's just like having a sucker with some kind of candy coating
yeah.
on it. And it's pretty good. Now, I had read when I was looking at the description for these, there's supposed to be a surprise little note
Huh.
in these. And I don't know if you got to wait till you get to the bottom or
I don't
where it's
know.
at, but I'll have to let y'all know about
I
that.
know that the boys that they get those a lot, and I don't ever pay attention, so I don't know.
I thought that's what it said. There was some kind of
Now those are kind of like those one suckers that we used to. Let me look those up and see. I think they were called tongue painters. Yeah, tongue painters, Dana. Whenever I was a kid, I think that's what they were
Mm,
called. They were like this, like you get like this little bucket of paint. And sorry about going dark there. Um,
okay.
it's like a little bucket of paint, and it comes with like a little paintbrush, and the paintbrush was the sucker.
I think I remember those. I
You
don't
know
think
those?
I ever had one, but I know I've seen them.
I can't quite find it, but oh, here they're called. No, that's the tongue splashers. I remember those two. The tongue splasher,
Mm,
you get them like a bucket of paint, but it was
yeah.
bubble gum, and it would make your tongue. It would paint your tongue. I can't
This
find.
is addictive too, though, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop on that. So I would, I think I'm going to give that one a 4. Um, because that was pretty good, but beware, it is addictive. Um, if you like that sour, kind of sweet and sour type of taste, because you get the sweetness with the sucker part, and then you get the sour with the powder. But I'll have to let everybody know later where the little baby note is, or maybe Candace can ask Noah later and
Yeah.
see if, like, maybe I just read that wrong, but it was something about a note, like I don't know if it
Huh.
was a note from a baby or what the deal was, but
I'm not for sure. I'll have to ask.
but while I'm at it, I'll try a different kind of sucker. And
Now
this,
I always love those growing up.
I have had push pops before, but this is a jumbo
Yeah.
push pop,
And
and
while you're doing that, Dana, I'm gonna take myself out for a second. I'll be right back.
okay, so you have to kind of be careful with this push pop because it's like those snakes in a can type of thing. I've got a blue stripe on my tongue now. Um, it kind of jumps out of there once you take the top off, but this is strawberry flavored. I like the strawberry taste. Hey, Chris. I'm trying not to make this look sexual on here, people. I'm trying to, mess with this push pop without it looking bad. But yeah, that is good, but I don't want to be having too much of that. So that I'm probably going to give that one a 4 too. There we go. And I've got two more things, but I'm going to hold off on those two things for a little bit.
I think he's wanting to try this, Dana.
All right, Chris is going to try this.
I'm not excited about it.
So should I let him try the
I'm being forced against my will
Shut
to
up.
do it.
Oh,
No, you're the one that came in here.
You asked me to.
Well, do you think I'll let him try the pickle radish too?
Now listen, I'm not eating no pickled shit.
Try this first, okay? It tastes like a sweet pickle. That's pickled radish. Just try it.
Oh my god, that smells terrible.
No, it doesn't. Just
Oh,
try it.
it's awful.
the look on Chris's face, that's priceless there.
It's not bad at all. Don't listen to him.
It won't come apart.
Not bad, is it?
It tastes better than it smells. But it's not something I would eat regularly.
But is it bad? What do you give it?
Yeah, what rating do you give that, Chris?
2.
Oh,
All right, so now he's going to try the natto.
okay.
Oh,
I can't wait for this. This is going to be great.
Oh, Molly, what the hell's in that shit? What is this?
Let me stir it up.
Well, it looks like friggin' caramel fish eggs or something.
Caramel fish eggs.
All right, let's. Jesus Christ.
Chris.
Oh my Lord.
No, does it smell like coffee? It doesn't smell bad, does it?
It has not a great smell. I mean, it has a kind of coffee-ish smell, but
It's not bad, is it?
it's not good.
Is it bad?
So does that get a 1, Chris?
Yeah,
Describe
that's
what you
worse than the pickled thing, whatever that
Describe
is.
what you taste.
I taste a bunch of nastiness. It's like, like when you have vomit come up in your mouth.
Oh,
No, he is.
No, I'm not. I'm not either.
I guess it's just according to people's taste buds, and I like stuff like that. So it's not.
That ain't for me.
You don't like it.
No.
So it was a buzz, but I'm still proud of Chris for trying it. But
yeah.
Dana, seriously, to me, it doesn't taste like that.
I'm still gonna try to find it so I can try it.
To me, it has that chocolatey flavor and kind of thing. But Chris, he's not really into that.
I was just watching his face, and it reminded me. And I don't think Chris would be mad over this. It reminded me of when my brother was little, and Mom would try to get him to try stuff, and
Yeah.
she said, "Just try just a little bit, Jason. I'll give you $1 if you try."
Yeah.
And he would go. He would just take the least little bit he could get. It was barely even a taste. He'd say, "Give me my $1."
Yeah, that is basically how Chris is and how Noah is. They're very extremely picky eaters. So I'm proud of him coming in here and actually trying that.
Chris says, "Yeah, where's my $1?"
So yeah, I'm proud of him at least coming and trying it because he's not one to ever, like trying new things. I'm
We
actually gonna have to say,
appreciate
please.
you. We appreciate you, Chris, coming on and doing that.
For Dana, he did that. So
Mhm. And
I don't discourage anybody from going and actually trying it themselves. I like it. I thought it was good. So
and I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, but nobody gave any super chats in the first hour, so gonna have to try that again. Try the gold thing for another live stream. Candace, you got anything else that you want to?
Well, if you want to see me wince again,
sure.
Noah had these little warheads, and I like warheads.
Yeah, warheads.
It's the extreme sour warhead. I don't ever remember them ever saying extreme sour warheads on them to begin with. Maybe they just did, and I just didn't realize it. But I'm curious to see if these are more powerful in their sourness. But I've not had one of these in a really long time, so I'm kind of nervous because they are very, very sour. So this is the green apple one, and I just want to see if this is as sour as I remember. Oh no, Diana.
You think it's gonna be real sour?
Yeah. I can already feel that it is. It's like sticky. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Candace.
Ooh-wee. That's very sour.
The thing about that, though, is usually it will wear off. The sourness will wear off pretty quickly.
Oh my gosh. That like locked my jaw. I don't know if it was any more sour than what they usually are. But that one was pretty sour. Whew. that stuff that they put on them. What is it, like some kind of acid they put on it?
Yeah.
That was pretty sour. But the thing is, once that sour is gone, they're really good. So
So you get a sweet taste after that.
now this seemed to be more sour than what I remember. So maybe these are like a different type or whatever. But I've noticed that the wrapping isn't like they used to be, because they used to come out dry. Maybe this is different. Maybe they're not,
Yeah.
because usually they would come out and they would be dry. This one was kind of like sticky.
Huh.
And the wrapper, what I remember, used to be like a foil on the inside. It's not like that anymore, but you know how stuff gets cheaper as time time goes along. But I don't know, it's just different. So maybe this is a different, like it is a more extreme sour, because it did seem very intense. But even though I like Warheads, and I really like the Warhead gum that they have, I don't know if you've ever tried that or
I don't
not.
think I've tried the gum.
It's not something that I could sit and eat. Have one every once in a while. I always remember, because I always liked the green apple, but I always remember as a kid, black cherry being like probably my favorite.
Oh, yeah, black cherry's good.
So while it's not something I can eat all the time, I would give this probably a 3,
Well, hurry.
because it's just not a candy that you could sit and just, I mean, your tongue would bleed if you'd sit and eat them,
Yeah,
all the time. So yeah, about a 3.
okay. Well, I think instead of going to another sour thing, I'll save the last sour thing for the last thing I do. But this is, now I've had Lifesaver gummies, but these are Lifesaver gummies collisions. They've got 2 flavors in one. So we've got raspberry lemonade, we've got cherry watermelon, and pineapple punch. So I have these I hope these are labeled. I should say. I think I'm going to have to cut these open. So I hope they've got them labeled, or they've got a clear wrapping so I can tell what's what.
Oh yeah, how about man?
Oh, they don't have any kind of wrapping on. They're just down in the bag. So let's see if I can find the. I think this is the cherry watermelon.
I've had those before.
It's pretty good, but it's not as strong as I thought they would be. So I can taste both of the flavors in it. So that's good. But they're a little bit, like I've gotten the 5 flavor Lifesavers and the gummies, and I feel like maybe it's because they've got one flavor in each of those, and it allows it to be stronger. But these aren't bad. They're not bad at all. I'll try the pineapple punch here.
And they're Lifesavers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lifesaver stuff is usually good.
Let's see. I'm going to try them all if I can find the raspberry lemonade one in here. Okay, if I can.
Did you ever enjoy getting those Lifesavers books for Christmas?
Yes. And now when I can find them, I get them for myself. I go ahead.
I love them. I always love those, like the pineapple and the orange, like a tangerine type of orange. It was really good. I love those.
Yeah, I go for I'll eat them all,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the cherry ones. The cherry ones are my absolute favorite.
Yeah, that's one candy that I really, really like, is the Lifesavers.
I do think that the cherry watermelon is my favorite out of these.
That one sounds good. I love watermelon too. I love watermelon and cherry. So
I'll give that one. I'll give that one a 4. Because not quite as strong as I would have liked, but not a bad little candy.
That's making me want some of those lifesaver books now.
Yeah,
I'm
I
thinking
know.
about those.
Hurry up and Christmas get here so me and Candace can get some. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and try my last thing real quick here. And this is the Airheads Extremes.
Yeah.
And these are supposed to be pretty sour, so we're gonna try this here. I mean, I'm probably gonna have my fill of sour stuff, but all right. Okay. So these are evidently they remind me of fruit roll-ups.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
And this is it's rainbow berry.
Hmm.
And it's not too sour. Again, I think this is the right amount of sour for me. Because you've got the sour stuff, there's like it looks kind of like sugar or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, these are not bad. Now don't get carried away now, Diane. Eat a whole bunch of them. Because there's actually, if you peel them off one at a time, there's quite a few of these little rainbow strips.
Oh.
I'm going to give these a 4 too. Because I could definitely see myself going back to these. Hey, Batman. He says, I got my Blair Witch collection from Imprint in today. Ooh, that sounds cool.
Did you go to the movies and watch Blair Witch, Dana?
The original Blair Witch, I did.
Did it make you motion sick?
No, but I generally don't get motion sickness, but I would imagine people that do.
I do.
So you went to the movies and saw it too?
Yeah. I remember because that came out like 96, 7. When did that come out? Do you remember?
Something like that. I can't. Does anybody remember the exact year? Batman, you remember?
I was like 11, 10 or 11. I do remember that. And I went with my cousin, and I remember her getting a really extremely bad headache during it.
That's not good. Yeah, thankfully, I've never had that problem with, movies that have quick camera movements or
Yeah.
something like that bothering me. But, I know some people do, though. Batman says 1999.
Okay. I was like 13, 12, 13 when that came out.
Gosh, Candace made me feel old. I was already out of high school by this time.
Oh.
I graduated in 1994, so.
You graduated high school in 94? That's the year my brother was born.
Boy, that makes me feel real old.
But listen,
Diana,
you got to experience the 80s more than I did, so be happy for that.
I did. And Steve, Steve was kind of like a 70s and 80s kid because
that's how my mom,
Steve was born in 1969, so
my mom a year before that. My mom and dad were born in 68, so.
And I know when me and Steve first started dating and getting serious about each other, and Steve just said, just out of the blue one day, he said, "Oh my gosh," he said, "your mom and dad are just 13 years older than I am." I said, "Well, I don't think of it that way.
No.
I don't think anybody ever thinks of it that way, because there's not really that many years between me and Steve, 6 or 7 years, I think.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Now, when I was, under 18, I would have been jailbait,
Yeah.
but But
That's a different story.
but once you get 17, 18 and on up, it doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
I didn't meet Steve until I was in my 30s. So,
Yeah.
oh, there's Ghost. Hey,
Say hello.
Ghost.
Yeah. Say
Hey,
hey. He smells
he's
all these
such
candy and stuff.
a handsome boy. He's like my Reggie. He's handsome.
He's wanting on some treats. You can't have these treats, buddy. Can
He
you?
says, but y'all are eating them.
He's a big baby. He thinks he's little like Mako, my Yorkie.
Yeah, Reg thinks he's small. Reg thinks he's a lap dog, and he's not.
But I'm a big baby. So I can't sleep at night without him like being my footrest because he lays right at my feet every night. And he's huge, he's like over 100 and some pounds. So, I mean,
Reggie isn't that big, but Reggie is grown. When we first got him, we thought he was, lanky and stuff, but
yeah.
he's stout now. Like he could knock you down if he wants to. But Candace, I've reached the end of my goodies here. Do you have anything else that
Well, Ghost, I don't have anything you can add, Bubba.
he's
I just wanted to show off a few things, I guess.
oh yeah.
Like some of the things that I miss like as childhood in my childhood. And it's these suckers, these caramel apple suckers.
Oh
Noah
yeah.
got some of these and I was like, I've not seen those in forever.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandpa, my mom's dad, used to love these, and we'd have to go buy them for him all the time. But have you ever tried them, Dana?
I've seen them, but I don't think I've ever tried them. And I actually almost got some for this show, but I
See,
didn't.
it's
Oh,
they're
cool.
they're made by Tootsie Roll,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a green apple, and it's like caramel on top of it. And whenever you're eating, and it gets down to the green apple, and I love these. These are so good. I've not had one in a really long time, but they're good. Like I could probably eat a lot of these, and that's not a good thing for me though. But the caramel is like a did you grow up eating like the sugar daddies
Oh yeah.
like that? But they're really good. I love these. But there was also something else I wanted to mention, and that's Twizzlers. Like
Oh,
my favorite Twizzler is a Twizzlers that's got the centers in the side of them, like
mm,
the jelly on the inside.
right.
But Noah had gotten to, and the other one I think somebody got it because I had both of them. I had both versions of the Twizzler. I had the version that pulls apart, which is this one,
Mm-hmm.
the one that I grew up with, and then they went and they changed them to where they were just like one like long rope that's got like a hole in the middle of it. I had both versions of those but I couldn't find the other one. So I said, I'm just going to go on there and talk about that because he had a bunch of them. And I ate one of the ones that was just like the rope,
Right.
and then I ate one of these that pulls apart, it's got like the little individual things. And I was sitting there thinking when I was eating it, I was like, these both are Twizzlers. These are both like cherry Twizzlers, but they taste totally different.
Uh-huh.
Like the one that pulls apart is really, really good. But the one that's the long rope is not,
Huh.
it's not as good as these. And you know how like stuff like you'll be thinking about something and you go on Facebook and randomly a post will be about that. And you
Yeah.
don't know, like you never said it out loud or anything like that. But it'd be like the most random things. It was a post from somebody that's not even in on my friends list or anything. It's like a recommendation from Facebook talking about how superior the pull apart Twizzlers were
Mm-hmm.
to the rope ones. And it's like, has anybody ever noticed that the basically what I was thinking, I was like, I just thought that. How did that get on Facebook? Isn't that the weirdest thing though? Have you had that?
But I've run into that stuff, not with the Twizzlers, but with different things.
Like I'm thinking, how did it know what I why did that just randomly show up on my thing? But you ever get the pull apart ones and get the other rope ones? They're two totally different formulas, and these are so much better than
Hmm.
the other ones. So that was just something I wanted to bring up.
Let me ask you this, Kana, since we're talking about Twizzlers. Did you like the licorice Twizzlers?
I am not a fan of licorice. My mama loves licorice.
And I love licorice, and my granddaddy loved licorice. So
Hmm.
that must be where I get it from. Because I'm the kind of person that at Easter time, I'm buy a whole bag of licorice jelly beans.
My
And
mom loves
everybody
them.
always goes, oh, the checkout girls at Walmart, they'll say, oh.
Hmm. My mom loves them. But, well, if I could talk without stuffing my mouth full, there is a brand of licorice. It's the greatest licorice I've ever eaten in my whole entire life. It's so soft and good. It tastes, if you could ever get a candy to taste fresh, it tastes fresh like they're using like real world ingredients. Like it's like, natural ingredients and stuff. I wish I could. Chris, if you're on here, what's that licorice that we eat all the time? Because I can't remember it. But they have cinnamon, they have blueberry pomegranate, they have a lemonade flavor, cherry, any kind of flavor you can think of. That black licorice from that brand, I like it. It's good. It's like a kind of like when you taste of it, it tastes kind of like a hint of brown sugar.
Chris says Wiley Wallabies.
Wiley Wallabies. It's the best. It's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best licorice that you could ever eat. And it's so good. That cinnamon is so like hot and good. It's really good. If you ever run across that, Dana, pick it up. It's really good.
I have to do that. And I see the poets in here. Hadn't seen the poet in a while, so welcome back. Um, I'm loving seeing some of these old names and faces again. Dollar Tree has it, Chris?
Yeah. I don't know
Okay.
if you can see this or not, Dana, but this is what it looks like. This is the package.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen those.
They are so good. I'm talking about a good, good candy. Oh, the green apple is really good, and watermelon. They got huckleberry. It's
Ooh,
so good.
I definitely need to get me some watermelon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's that good watermelon flavor too. But the Dollar Tree definitely has it.
Well, I'll have to have
Walmart does too.
Steve take me back to the Dollar Tree. He'll say, "Oh, good Lord, I don't want to take you to the Dollar Tree no more."
No
Oh,
one gave me a sour punch straw.
uh-huh.
I don't know if I've ever eaten those before. Have you ever eaten them? The
I
sour
don't
punch
think I
straws?
no, I don't think I have one of those.
This don't even have a flavor on it. I don't think it's like I can try it. I guess. Great. It's
Oh,
good.
well,
A little bit sour. It's good.
was that some of his Halloween candy, Candy?
Yeah. He said, "Here, mom, try this. It's good. It's got good, great flavor. You
No,
don't like the Big League Chew,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
I
grape.
used to love Big League Chew, and I love the grape too.
That's the flavor of this. It tastes like the Big League Chew
Oh,
with like a sour to it, but it's
there's
good.
nostalgia for you, Big League Chew. I
Oh, I
mean,
love it.
yeah. And I used to literally, stuff my cheeks full of it like I was a baseball player.
Yeah. Five Below has it. Has the Big League Chew.
I need to get back to Five Below, actually. Steve's going to be saying, y'all quit talking about stores. I don't want to go to all these stores. But, oh man, I'm going to have to quit eating this sweet stuff because
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I
sick.
was sitting here eating these gummy cluster nerds. Um, but we've been on here for almost 2 hours.
Mm.
Gummy lifesavers. Oh yeah, Batman. We've still got gummy lifesavers, and in fact, in case you missed it, I was eating some of these lifesaver gummies collisions.
Have you ever tried the Jolly Rancher gummies? Those are really good.
I don't think I've tried the Jolly Rancher ones. I need to get some of those too. Still be saying, "Stop! You got enough candy." Like, not only if you're diabetic, don't eat too much of this stuff, folks.
Mm.
It will.
Even if you're not, don't eat too much.
Yeah, because it all that sugar and stuff not good. Um, Chris says, has anybody seen the ET costumes yet that Heidi Klum and her husband
Yes.
wore this year? No, I'm going to have to check that out. But I did see that somebody that I know from back home dressed their dog like ET. You know, when ET was in the basket on the front of the bike and he had that cover over him, somebody did their dog like that, and it was so cute.
Yeah, you listen. Heidi Klum is the girl I told you about. Maybe last Friday Foolish that we did.
Mm-hmm.
That does all the awesome costumes like the earthworm.
Yeah.
Well, she is ET this year, and her face is his neck. And it's this big, huge, like animatronic head that moves and has eyes and stuff. It's amazing. Like all of her, yeah. Let's see. These ET costumes that Heidi Klum had made are the best. Yeah, they are the best ET. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely. You got to check it out, Dana, or anybody in the chat if you've not seen it.
I wonder if I can find a. I'm sure I can find a picture on Google or something.
Yes, go look it up, Dana. It's really, really cool.
Okay, let's take a look here. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to show this to you guys and gals. Hold on just a second here. I'm gonna share.
Yeah, the mouths and eyes move. It's amazing. It looks like ET.
There's video too that y'all can check out, but I'm just gonna show you a. I'm gonna show. Okay, hold on here. See if y'all can
look at that.
That is just, and I see her face there in the neck.
Isn't that cool?
That is very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like some high tech. I mean, whoever made that is just fantastic. You ought to watch it move, and so like on your own time, like look it up and watch a video of it. It's really amazing.
Yeah, there's a better picture there that you can see. Can everybody see that? That's her with her husband.
She always goes all out. Like she was like Fiona from Shrek one year, and an earthworm. I always like that one. I thought a peacock.
And there's people taking pictures with her.
Yeah, it is rich people costumes, TJ. That's for sure. Exactly. I hate to see the price tag on that thing.
But anyway, I just want since that was brought up, I'll quit sharing that now. But yeah, Chris, whoever made that is an amazing artist. But Candice will probably say, no, I'm not. But Candice is an amazing artist. Since we're talking about amazing artists.
Or Dana.
Candice is like, her and my cousin Heather are the two greatest artists that I know.
Well, I appreciate that. I do.
Because both you girls can take nothing like, well, not nothing, but let's say you could take a lump of clay and make it into something amazing. And I've seen Candace do it, and I've seen my cousin Heather do it. My cousin Heather, years and years ago, took a lump of clay and she made a winged dragon out
Hmm.
of it. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Could I do that? No, I could write about it, but I could not take
Have you
clay.
tried it?
I know Candace is going to get me
Have
because
you tried it?
let's just say I don't think that I could do that.
Well, you don't know if you can do it or not because you've never tried.
Maybe I'll try. I'll try it, and then I'll show y'all this misshapen lump. I'll say that can't do it, but I'm gonna try it. So I can tell Candace at some point in time I'm gonna get me some clay and I'm gonna try to do it. Because Candace is. I hope that I'll be able to see the day when Candace is a teacher because
I hope so too.
Candace is already a great teacher, and
Well,
she
thank you.
doesn't give up on people or anything like that. She keeps pushing you to expand on your talents. I guess would be the best way to put it.
Well, you're gonna get me up here get misty eyed, Dana, sitting here talking nice
But
about.
it's the truth. It's like if I wanted anybody to teach me art, there are only two people in my life that want to learn art from, and that would be my cousin Heather and Candace,
Well, I appreciate that.
because they are true artists, and like in the truest sense of the word, artists. Candace can also paint, just like my cousin Heather can. Like my cousin Heather painted a picture of a cabin in the snowy woods, and this just came out of her mind. I think it
Yeah,
even had a deer in it.
a lot
And
of people can do that. I love that. I've never been like a landscape artist or anything like that, but I always loved like Bob Ross.
yeah.
And I tell you, he's the best teacher at teaching that kind of thing because I've seen people who didn't have a day of like art lessons in their life and they followed those tutorials from Bob Ross and
Mhm.
um, had made things that looked just like what he was doing. And I mean, take somebody special come along like that that can teach people step by step how to do something like that. I've just never been a landscape artist, but I've always been interested in doing one of those tutorials to see if I could actually do that too.
I bet you
Um,
could, Candace.
because just the way he does, I mean, you have the same materials that he's got. You get on there and try to follow what he does. Uh, I could see about anybody being able to do that stuff. He makes it so easy for you, to
But
follow along.
the other thing about Bob Ross, because I've watched Bob Ross in the past,
Hmm.
is that it's so soothing to watch
Yes.
him,
Yeah. Yeah.
because he has a very soft. He was always very soft spoken.
Yeah. He was like ASMR. If anybody knows what ASMR is by now, I'm sure everybody does. Um, he was like ASMR before ASMR, was popular and stuff. So, I'm telling myself, but I used to play hooky from school, and I'd watch like The
I
Price is
think
Right.
I think we all did. I played my fair share of hooky from school. Mom,
But Bob
I'm
Ross,
sick. I don't feel.
yeah, I would watch the joy of painting, early in the morning, and I don't know if anybody. This is totally different than what I was talking about, but he was like the Bob Ross for kids. But there's this program I used to watch whenever I would play hooky from school, and it was called Pappy Drew It. Do you remember? This
I
probably
don't
you was
think
probably
so.
older whenever that came out. And you probably
Yeah.
probably seen it on TV. I was like, I ain't gonna watch that. But it was like Pappy Drew It. I don't know. It's some like papaw looking dude that had like had a bandana, and he would teach you how to draw and
Was
stuff.
he like a hippie papa or something?
You could tell he was a young man,
Uh,
but he was like dressed like a papaw. I don't know, Dana. I'll have to look him up, but I can't remember
I
if it's
wonder if I can look him up on Google. Let's see.
probably, yeah,
You
probably
can
best.
Google everything.
It's Pappy then Drewitt.
Oh, okay. Hold on here.
But he lived in Pappy Land. It's called Pappy Land was the
Let's look at images
But
here.
the theme song went Pappy, Pappy drew it. I don't know. It was a weird show, but it says that it started in 92, lasted
Oh,
6 seasons.
there's some videos on YouTube.
Are there Pappy drew it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love it. He had, always had like this big pencil and stuff.
If
I
I can,
loved it. He lived in Pappy Land.
let's see if I can.
Anybody in the chat, do you all remember Pappy Land, Pappy
There we
drew it?
go. Everybody see that?
Oh, that's a newer. See this where it says Pappy Land. It's got him like with a orange or a lime green.
Yeah.
That's back whenever I was a kid.
Okay.
This must be something new that he does. Like he's actually
Happy
an old
Happy
man
Doodle
now.
Time. Learn how to draw from. Uh,
Like he's actually an older man now. But whenever I was a kid, I don't think he was an old man. I think he just looked that way. Maybe he was. I don't know. This is what he looked like whenever I was a kid, like that.
oh yeah, yeah. I can tell the difference there. Maybe he's doing a new show and he's gotten older now.
Could. And he had like this phone that was like real big and had like eyes. He kind of reminded me of like if you took Bob Ross and mixed him in with Pee Wee Herman.
Uh-huh.
It kind of was like that. I really liked it though. That was a really, really fun show. I'd probably watch it now. So I'm gonna go look that up probably after and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
Noah, look at this
I'm
show."
seeing the one that you just showed the like the outfit that he's
Yeah, yeah, that
wow.
was back in the early '90s and stuff. But I always liked that show, and that's one thing about homeschool with like Noah. I can show him stuff that I grew up with, and he loves it. Like we incorporate like the Magic School Bus, and
Mm-hmm.
because I still like that stuff. I still watch Magic School Bus and all that good stuff that I used to watch as a kid. And um, what's another one? Wishbone. Do you remember all those?
I remember whenever I was babysitting, the little girl that I babysat for loved to watch Wishbone.
I loved Wishbone.
And
I
so I
loved
would
it.
watch it with her, and I loved that dog on there.
Yes, he was a little Jack Russell,
Mhm.
and he would like take on like Sleepy Hollow and
Mhm.
just any kind of like little books, like the Prince and the Pauper, and he would act that out and stuff. And I thought that was such a um, cool thing, and Noah loves it. And the big comfy couch, I still have like my doll from the big comfy couch. Did you ever watch it, Dana?
I know of that one, but I didn't watch that one.
Reading Rainbow, working in
I
the library.
love
I'm sure that
LeVar Burton reading Rainbow. Yes,
which that's
I
from
love
the
it.
'80s too, right? The Reading Rainbow.
I'm pretty sure some of it could have been real late 70s, but I remember it in the 80s.
Yeah, I think it come out like mid '80s, pretty sure. But I love LeVar Burton. I always did. I loved him on um, Star Trek, and
Mhm.
um, I
You
don't know.
you still remember the theme song for Reading Rainbow,
Oh
Candy?
yes, I sing it all the time. Henley knows it. I used to sing it to
Oh,
him
it's
all
so
the time, and
cute.
he would sing. We'd sing it. He would say, "Cece, let's sing Butterfly in the Sky," and we sit and we start singing it. But he loved that. Yeah, I want to ask him if he remembers that. Hey,
The
Henley,
poet says, "Take a look. It's in a
in
book.
a book,
All the
reading
memories."
Rainbow.
Yeah, we're all
Oh,
gonna
I
get
loved it.
misty eyed thinking about Reading Rainbow because I absolutely love Reading
That
Rainbow.
was such an important part of my childhood. Was all the PBS stuff. That was like my favorite thing. Was like Mister Rogers' Neighborhood,
Yeah.
Reading Rainbow, Sesame Street,
Mhm.
all that stuff like that. That was my
Was the electric company on PBS?
yeah, the Electric Company. I don't know if you remember this or not, but Ghost Rider. Ghost
I,
Rider
I
was
remember that briefly. Now, here's one I got to ask everybody. Do you remember Song Bag? That was something I watched in the first grade at school.
Song Bag.
Yeah.
Was it on PBS?
I want to say, yeah, I'm going to look that up because,
Song Bag. Maybe if you pull it up, I might can recognize it. Did anybody ever watch the? Because Chris was the only person I ever knew that ever uh, watched that show until I met my sister in law, and they had actually had it on DVD. But it's called the Red Green Show. It was on PBS.
I may have Well, I don't know if I know it was called the. Okay, there's something called the American Song Bag, but I thought it was just called Song Bag.
Hmm. Song bag.
Now that's gonna make a liar out of me.
As a little bitty kid, PBS, I watched Captain Kangaroo, Zoobilee Zoo, that had Ben Vereen in it.
Hmm.
Um, I loved Captain Kangaroo.
Well, let me look at this American Song Bag. But
American Song, but that kind of, you look that up too, because that kind of sounds familiar to me.
that was a weird picture.
American Song Bag. That's something to do with whatever I found was something to do with a poet.
Yeah. Well, I may have to look more into that, but I could have sworn that that's what it was. Okay, so here we go. Maybe this is what it was. Let's see. Tony Sailtan. Um,
Hmm.
let me
Is it
see.
the kids' songs?
Maybe that's what it was, and maybe he said something about Songway. Maybe that's why.
Kids' songs. I remember Kids Incorporated. That's something totally different, though. So, Kids Songs, I think, was a TV series in '87.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't it? So, I don't know, Dana. I'll be looking this up after we get off here trying to figure it out for you. Um,
Because somebody said what Tony Sailtan did with his show, The Song Bag on PBS, was great.
oh, so somebody actually
Yeah,
mentioned it?
as a child, I loved that show and watched it at home. And they showed it in elementary school. And elementary school is where I watched that. But I'm trying to remember or trying to figure out where that talks about that on this website when you go to
Tony
it.
Selatan. Yeah, I looked this up. Said he made a appearance on Sesame Street. Huh.
He evidently went around to elementary schools
Because
early on in his career.
I typed in song the song bags and Tony Selatan is what came up. So I don't know. Maybe it was just one of those things
It
that,
was something that didn't last very long,
but
maybe.
it still you would think that you would see something. You know, that happened with a sucker that I grew up liking as a kid. It was called Suck an Egg.
Uh
And it
huh.
was all throughout my childhood, they would have them like on the end of like checkout lanes, and it was on like this thing where they would stick out of these holes, and you just pull them out, and the egg was like like Easter eggs, plastic Easter eggs when you open them up. That
Uh
was
huh.
on the sucker, and they were like tie dyed egg suckers, and they were called sucking egg suckers. And I have searched and searched and searched for any signs of those online, and I've never been able to find anything about them, and I know they existed because I grew up loving them. And nobody I can, like my brother doesn't even remember them. I'm like, CJ, we used to get these all the time. So I know they existed. It's something I know I didn't dream of.
Well,
So,
there's some other comment somebody made on this site. I love the song bag by Tony Sailtan. Great series.
huh.
So and here's the message somebody put. What Tony Seltan did with his show, The Song Bag, on PBS was great. As a child, I loved that show and I watched it at home, and they showed it in elementary school because of its educational value. It was
Huh.
always a treat to me. It was probably my first real introduction to American folk music.
That's so odd yeah, I'm saying the same thing that you're saying, and there's nothing. Wait, oh no, this is when he's on Sesame Street. Wait, what is this? Let's All Sing with Tony Selatan, children's music program which aired on educational public broadcasting stations mostly during school hours.
And
Everybody
here's
sing the song bag.
Yeah, here's something else. It says, I sure remember having to watch Tony Saltan's TV show, The Song Bag, back in 1974 when I was in the first grade. See, I was in the first grade, but it wasn't 74. It was a few years later than that. Um, I was attending Catholic school, and TV time was always a breath of fresh air from the screaming nuns because they went to Catholic school, evidently. Um,
Maybe this is it, Dana, that I found. It's called Let's All Sing with Tony Selatan.
mm-hmm.
And I thought I seen somebody say the song bag on here, but I don't see it anymore. So
I'm seeing several people mention Song Bag.
well, he's a folk singer, this guy is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him before, but that's really interesting.
But I always remembered liking that, when they would have us watch it in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I agree with the poet. Wish some of these shows would have streaming services. I wish they would.
it would be awesome.
Because I love stuff like I still watch like Mr. Rogers and stuff like that. I love that stuff. In my heart, I want to be an educator. I want to teach young children, and I love working with kids and stuff like that. So that stuff will never leave me, and that's one of the reasons why, I love working with kids so much is because I still that's always been in my heart, that teaching aspect of these shows like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and the uh, Sesame Street and what's the one that we always the Schoolhouse Rock. I always loved it. I always loved Schoolhouse Rock and stuff like that. And that stuff, I still love watching that stuff as an adult. So, and like children's books, I'm huge into children's books and stuff still. And I think that's just one of the reasons why I want to make a career out of teaching kids is because I can connect with them on that kind of kid level. I guess is what it is. I enjoy, I enjoy that. So
Right. Yeah, so if anybody can dig up some actual footage of the Song Bag with the good old
I'm
Tony there.
interested in this now, Dana. Like I want to find that for you. There has to be something out there somewhere that has
There's
it.
too many people that remember it.
Well, if it was on public broadcasting, wouldn't there be some kind of like
I fear there'd be an
archive?
an archive of that.
That's so weird though, how you can't, because like I said, like with that sucker thing, there had to be somebody that remembers that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because everything else I've looked up that I have remembered as a kid, I've been able to find like at least a picture of it or something. But that I've not been able, and they were like around for years and years and years. And it's not like something that was just out for a momentary amount of time. But I don't know.
But guys and gals, I would love to go on with this all night long. But of course, I've been drinking my Mountain Dew here, and that you know what that means. Dana's gonna have to go to the restroom.
And maybe we can have a free form, like nostalgic, like Friday Foolish one of these days where we talk about like childhood memories and shows and stuff like that.
I would love to do that. Actually, I'm going to put Candice on the spot here a little bit. I was thinking about ideas for our next Friday Foolish. I definitely want to do what she just mentioned upcoming. But I thought about, since we haven't really talked about books for a whole Friday Foolish, and we have that on the intro, maybe we should do one on books. So what I was thinking about was favorite horror authors other than Stephen King. And this is going to put me on the spot and cause me to do a little digging here.
Yeah, because like Stephen King is like, the big, but I have some more in mind. They might not be particularly all adult books, but
that's okay. That's fine. We can talk about, young adult ones, or even, even younger. I mean, because like if you think about like the Goosebumps
Mhm.
stuff and things
That
like,
was a big
and
one for me.
if you think about scary stories to tell in the dark,
Mhm.
those were not really designed for adults. Those were designed for kids.
Children, yeah.
And I think Candace grew up with them. I grew
Yep.
up with
Oh,
them.
yeah, I definitely did.
I'm sure Chris grew up with them
Yeah.
as well. So they would definitely.
We're the kids that had the Arlstein, like, bedding and curtains and
I didn't ever have that, but the R.L. Stein stuff that I read, and that's something I can bring up in more detail on the Friday Foolish do it, is that I read like the young adult novels
yeah,
and the Fear
the
Street
Fear
stuff
Street,
and
yeah.
things.
Yeah, I have probably about every one of them, so
I love those. I mean,
I
they
do
were just
too.
so much fun to read. So, um, Candace seems like she's in agreement
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
definitely. I could probably even, like, get some of these out and show them and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have. It's always cool to have visuals. And speaking of visuals, I got to show this again before we get off.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for mine. I'm excited.
Candace is like, I'm so jealous. Dana's already got hers.
Well, one thing I said whenever you walked away, I was like, I was watching along whenever Dana and Chris was doing that watch along the other day, but I'm still going to watch it whenever we get it.
Oh yeah, I,
Did just watch it.
I
I think
can't
it's a,
not watch it.
do you think, I believe it would be, even though it shows some scenes, I believe it would be a movie that you could introduce to Noah. Do you think?
Oh, I could definitely see Noah being able to,
Because he's Noah is a metalhead. Like that's his thing is metal. He loves Kiss, he loves Ozzy.
he loves Judas Priest, doesn't he?
Yes, and I think that he would really like it. The parts that he is uncomfortable with, he can close his eyes, if he wants to. But you
There's
know,
not really,
there's the one scene where in the car,
with the girl.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not like it's graphic. And I'm sure he would close. He wouldn't. He's the type of kid that's like he's like gets embarrassed by that stuff. So he's
He's not at
11,
the.
almost 12. I've watched worse than that at his
I,
age.
ca-
So
guys and gals, I was watching, like cannibal films and stuff like that. I was watching Campbell Ferox when I was probably around 12.
oh my gosh.
So, yeah, we watched that as a family.
Well, we grew up watching like the Friday the 13th and
Yeah,
Halloween, and Noah has watched those. He's
yeah.
watched especially the Halloween stuff, and that shows more stuff than probably what Trick or Treat does.
Chris said, I showed Noah the original Evil Dead last night. I
I
think
walked
he'll be
in
all
there.
right with trick or treat.
I come home and that's what they were watching. I was like, oh, cool. He liked it. And I remember
That's awesome. It's
the
awesome.
first one I ever watched, I believe was the Evil Dead. Like before
See,
Miranda Lawrence did anything.
I watched Evil Dead 2 before I watched the first
See, I
Evil Dead.
didn't. And I was like, when I first seen it, it was really shocking to me because it was like, above a lot of things I hadn't seen before. And I was like, oh, this is scary. This is gross. And so Noah was just sitting there watching, like, cool. He's like,
He's in the club now, Candace.
and goo and stuff. He didn't
Yeah.
care. So yeah, I agree with Chris. I think that he would be okay watching Trick or Treat.
Yeah, I think he could handle it. Like I said about myself, I watched things probably that I shouldn't have been watching at that age, but my parents knew what I could handle and what I couldn't
Yeah.
handle.
Now Noah loves horror, so I mean,
Yeah,
nothing really scares him or anything like that. He just like
so he's going to get two loves in this. He's going to get his love of metal and his love of horror and one
I
movie.
could already hear him like saying, "Wow, Judas Priest! Look at his room.
Look at all these posters."
Cinemas, there's Ozzy. Wow, I can already hear him saying that kind of thing. So
And Gene Simmons playing Nuke in it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of fun with it, I think.
I wanted to wait until we got this before letting him see it because I know that the free version and stuff, and you can find it. I think it's on YouTube, but
Yeah.
I want to wait till we get the good copy before we sit down, maybe pop some popcorn and sit around and watch
There
it.
you go. Yeah, those
Remind
posters
me.
get ripped up. That's probably gonna kill Noah. He's
Yeah,
probably
don't
like,
remind
"What
me.
in the world?"
I always got so mad when they do.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I,
can't. Why did
you
he
know,
have to do that? He throws his little tantrum, but Eddie, why do you gotta tear all your posters down?
that
All
made no.
except Sammy Kerr.
Yeah,
Can't tear the
also, yeah.
Sammy Kerr down. Uh,
We, but I've had fun today, Dana. I've had fun with this
I've
Friday.
had a lot of fun today.
And we
Uh,
really didn't have any time limit. We just kind of, usually we have like a time limit some of the time, but today just kind of, taking it easy and stuff. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I thought
And
that it
like
was,
I said, I probably could have went on all night, but as women especially get older, their bladders aren't as strong as they used to be, and unless I want a puddle underneath me, and I don't think anybody wants that. So, um, but I hope that you guys in the chat, or you guys and gals that have been watching, that don't feel comfortable being in chat, I welcome back the people that have been away for a while. The poet was
yeah,
in here. Coco was back in here. Uh, TJ's joined us for the last couple, so I appreciate that. Batman, he's becoming a little more regular now. I know Batman's got that job at McDonald's, or McHale as he calls it.
that's a
Uh,
rough one.
yeah, yeah. He's a strong guy if he can
Yeah.
work at McDonald's, or any of these restaurants. I haven't had
Oh, yeah.
a
I've done it.
restaurant job for years, and I was a dishwasher at a local restaurant in
Mhm.
my hometown. But
I've been a cook. I've been a fry person, a boxer, prepper. I've been a lot, and it's not an easy job. I can vouch for that.
it is not. You are up on your feet a lot.
Hmm.
And my mom was a cook at the same restaurant when I was a dishwasher, but I also did salad bar prep.
Hmm.
I patted out hamburger patties and put those little whatchamacallit,
Wax
wax
paper.
paper on there, so they wouldn't stick together, and get them ready to put in the freezer so they could just get them out. The cooks
Yeah.
could get them out and
I've
stuff.
never worked at McDonald's, but I tell you, I've heard a lot of people say it's a different type of. I worked at Wendy's.
My
Wendy's was
brother
tough
worked at
enough.
Wendy's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I worked at Lee's. I worked at Lee's Famous Recipe. I don't know if anybody's, apparently that's starting to get more popular now. We grew up with Lee's, two Lee's
Mhm.
in my area.
I grew up with KFC pretty much.
Lee's to me is my favorite.
It's
It's my favorite.
better than
Oh
KFC.
yeah, it's really 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 good. I grew up with it. My grandma worked there for 30 some years, so um, I got a job there, and I was a prepper with her. And that a
Mm.
prepper does all kinds of stuff. They go and they prep all the coleslaw, and everything was like made by hand. So you have to like even the tater wedges were like prepared by hand. But the cooks took care of that kind of thing. But the
Right.
big old heads, I mean, we'd take big old like 50-pound bags of cabbage
Uh huh.
and grind them up, and big bags of carrots in it, make the
That
coleslaw. It was
that is
something.
where I learned to like take a head of lettuce and slam it down on the table and get that big,
Or
oh, yeah, that big middle part out so you could just shred up the lettuce. And
mm,
that's the way I do my lettuce now.
I, rem-
Well
I
learned.
remember first doing that, and I did that at home because we
Hmm.
didn't have full with lettuce unless they were chopping it up like for a sandwich or something at Lee's. But I remember doing that at home one time. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was with us, like a maybe my cousin or something. And I slammed it down there. And she thought I was mad. She said, "What are you doing to that lettuce?" I said,
What's
that
wrong with you, Candace?
scores it." And they was like amazed. They was like, "Wow, I didn't even know that." I was like,
I
"Yeah,
didn't know that till I worked at Riverview Restaurant, and they taught me how to do that.
we had a Riverview, but it was called Riverview Diner."
Oh, cool.
Growing up, yeah. It was next to the river, and it kept on getting flooded
Yeah,
every time the river would come up.
Riverview, you had a good view of the river. People would come from all over just to sit there by the windows and look out.
See the
And
river.
I'd be like, "Why you want to look at the ugly old Ohio River?" But they
I
were
always
just
loved because the river always, it runs in front of my mom and dad's house. That was the Kentucky River, and
right.
I would always sit there and watch it. And um, watch the ducks, watch the kayakers, because
Yeah.
our town, they have like these kayak rentals and stuff, and I always love the river. So we're blessed to have these kind of views and stuff. See the deer coming down, drinking the water and stuff, and that's a good view for some people, I guess it is. But
Um, Chris, it's great that you mentioned Whitesburg. I
mhm.
got a little story to tell about that. He said there's still a Riverview diner going towards Whitesburg.
Hmm.
I think Whitesburg is where my ex boss or ex supervisor Brian was from.
Oh, really?
At the Louisville Free Public Library when I worked at the Fern Creek branch.
Uh-huh.
He was my supervisor there. Sweetest guy ever, but I think he was from Whitesburg.
Really?
He had our type of accent, that all of us have.
Yeah, Whitesburg is a really small town, but it's
Mhm.
one where a lot of people go, like in the art scene and music scene and stuff like that. It's got a really big, a following of people who are artsy and stuff. So it's a artsy town, but I say that in not a bad way, in a good way. It's a beautiful little town, but it is very small.
And, he would talk about coming from there, but he was just like, he was one of the sweetest people I've ever met. And he was a very, very sweet boss, too.
Chris, I was trying to be nice. Don't don't mess it up.
Wouldn't be telling him when I was from Whitesburg. Well,
I'll tell you about that later, Dana.
Okay. Well, Brian, Brian didn't care to tell you where he was from, but there must be a story behind that. I'm guessing the one that Candace can't tell on here. Um, so anyway, I do want to thank Candace for being my very lovely co-host and
Thank
very knowledgeable co-host, and I've had fun, trying these different things and watching Candace try different things and watching Chris try a couple of different things there, even though he didn't care for them, but it was still fun. If Steve had been here, I would have tried to get him to try, some of the candy or something. But I also want to thank everybody for their continued support
you.
of
Yes.
the channel, the support of the shop. And, like I say, if you feel so compelled, please stop on over at deaditesondeck.com. I've got shirts, I've got candles, I've got blended teas, I've got Booga Booga Bears. Check it out. There's something for everybody on
Oh,
the
yeah.
and I'm going to be adding new stuff. Hopefully, I'll be able to add tote bags because I'm experimenting with tote bags. I'm going to make Candace a tote bag here.
Oh,
So
yeah, I'm excited.
if all goes well, then I'll be offering those up on the site for sale. Yes, thank you, dear. Steve came in right at the end and he says, press the like button.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, definitely.
it costs you nothing to like and or subscribe to the channel. Now, if you do want to give me a little bit of extra, you can join the channel for as little as $5 a month. And there's perks that go along with those. And as Steve says, Dana's big on perks, He says Dana likes to pay extra and get perks for things, but you do indeed get perks when you join Deadites on Deck. Um, but I guess, like I said, I could keep going on and on about stuff, but people are going to eventually say, well, she's just blabbing on. That's just Dana. We're getting out of here. Um, but um, anyway, I want to thank everybody once again for joining me and Candace this evening for this post Halloween taste test. And we not only did a taste test, but we talked about people passing gas. We talked about people smelling like crap when they're at conventions and all kinds of other stuff. So
Probably expelled a lot of things that we probably shouldn't. That's
Probably
okay
things that
though.
shouldn't have been talked about in connection with food, I guess.
Well,
But
these beans probably, I did eat some beans, so I mean,
Chris, look out.
well, he ate more than I did, so
Yeah,
Candace, look out.
yeah, yeah. Candace might be having to vacate the house or something. But we're just being silly, folks.
Yeah.
But I think me and Candace can both safely say we had a great time this
Oh
evening.
yeah.
And hey, Blissful, it's just a shame we're getting ready to get off of here.
Well, wrapping it up at 2.5 hours almost.
Yep. And so and she says hi to Candace as well.
Hey,
She's got the
Blissful.
little heart and the jack-o'-lantern in there. I like that. That's really cool. And it looks like a slice of watermelon by her name too there. Um, but we're gonna have to call it a night or an evening because I'm sure Candace has got some things to do. I've got some things
Homework.
to do. I figured poor Candace had some more homework
Oh,
to do.
plenty, plenty.
But we're going to tie this up with a nice, neat little bow. And me and Candace are going to be off like a couple of dirty shirts. The shirts we got on aren't dirty, but we're going to be off like a couple of them. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before we get out of here, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. And by the way, if you feel so inclined, pick up a shirt with that design or many
Yes.
other designs on deaditesondeck.com. I'm trying to be a salesman here. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job or not. It was like,
We asked for it and
for
she
the love of God,
delivered
stop
it.
doing this.
She delivered it, so buy it now.
Yeah, I did. I finally created that design. But anyway, we are out of here for the night. Have a fantastic rest of your Friday, folks. And we're into the weekend. I hope everybody's off this weekend and we can sleep off the hopefully we can sleep off the sugar high that we got
Yeah.
from Halloween.
Hey, and also remember that Halloween doesn't end with October.
It does not. It's as Chris says, it's a way of life for a lot of people.
Or so
Halloween
far
is
movies.
yeah, Halloween's not just a October or October 31st thing. It's a 365
Yeah.
day.
Every day is Halloween.
Yeah, every day's Halloween. Isn't there a movie or a song or something?
Well, I know Typo Negative has a song called Every Day is
Every day
Halloween.
is
So
Halloween. Okay. I was pretty sure there was one. So yeah, go listen to that Typo Negative song and see if you can get the vibe that every day is Halloween. But anyway, folks, we're out of here before I make a puddle on the floor. And we'll see everybody next time. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you
see
next
ya.
time.